It is Saturday. It is, I'm sorry, what's today's date? Today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. This is the second day for the Democratic Convention. If you didn't catch yesterday's Democratic, all of the speakers were wonderful. I didn't get a chance to see Cory Booker, but I think that all of them were fantastic. But most importantly, I wanted to talk about Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama as it relates to the whole First Lady thing, the First Lady presidency, so on and so forth. I wanted to give it I wanted to address it. Yesterday, she had, she electrified the whole thing. She stole the thunder from everybody. And then after her came the boring Elizabeth Warren, so on and so forth. But it was nothing short of excellence. She came with fire. She came with determination, and she was solid in her delivery. She spoke from the heart, and she knew exactly what she was doing in terms of delivering a speech on behalf of Hillary Clinton. That's one side. The second, the side that I want to discuss is, who she is as a person. She's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Three things that I want us to think about when we date. Because two things. If a man gets, let me just say this to you: if a man gets a woman like that, it can make him insecure. It can make him insecure because in that she's innovative, energetic, and she's independent. Let me give it to you again. She's innovative. Hey, Keisha. She's innovative, energetic, and independent, which means that she stands alone, that she has the wherewithal to stand alone. And for some men who's insecure, can't handle a woman like that. They can't. Even though she's 100% backing Obama, some men, because of their past relationships, can't handle a woman of that magnitude. Conversely, some women can handle being in that position that they are as the First Lady. Why? Because everybody wants her man. Her man has swag. Her man has a position in life. All of that. So a lot of women can't handle having a man like that. So the question is that how did the two come about? How did the two come about? Here you have a lady that has a master's degree from Princeton. She was the director or something of a company, and she takes in this guy. She takes in this guy who has aspirations and ambitions, and an ambition to be a senator. He has aspirations and ambitions to be somebody. And he's putting forth to the effort to be that person. But what a lot of women are doing is they're taking a lot of men in who say they're aspiring to be this, who say they have these ambitions, but they ain't doing nothing. And so after a year of them singing and preaching and saying that they're doing this, the women become complacent and take care of the man. And now the feelings have gotten caught up and they're so caught up into, what he's saying and things of that nature. And they fear leaving him because maybe one day he can become something and so on and so forth. Listen to me. There's a difference between having lip service and having factual, productive aspirations and ambitions. Here you have a woman who stood by her man. She didn't try to complete him, but she accepted him completely. Let me give it to you again. She ain't going up in there trying to complete him. She went in there accepting him completely, accepting who he is, but she had something tangible or something authentic that it says this man is going somewhere. And it's a dangerous thing to deal with a man who ain't going nowhere. And it's the same thing with a lot of men. A lot of mediocrity, a lot of mediocre women. You know why? I had a friend. Let me tell you something, right? This is funny. So I had a friend, right? Let me give you a perfect example. I got a friend of mine, right? So the friend of mine, he has this woman. This was a couple of years ago. So had this woman. She never cleaned up. She never cooked. She never did anything. When he came home, the place would be a mess, and she doesn't work. Let me give it to you again. She doesn't clean, doesn't cook, and she's home sitting around. And I said, man, you going for that? He said, cook. When I get home, the sex is so good that I can't. Once I get the sex, then everything else is out the door. I don't even care about that. And I'm saying to men is that if you're going to get a Michelle Obama, you have to get rid of the standards that you have as a man, because many men would sacrifice everything else for some sex. You have to, in order to get a Michelle Obama, this is twofold. In order to be a Michelle Obama, I'm gonna get to that, women. Men, in order to get a Michelle Obama, you have to be willing to sacrifice being single until she comes. But in the point of being single, you have to get yourself together and allow life to be more than having a sexual relationship. Because a lot of men miss out on so many opportunities. They mess up their relationships, they mess up their marriage, and then now their kids looking at them crazy because daddy wanted to go and stick his pee-pee somewhere. You have to have more than life. Life has to be more meaningful than busting something. That's number one. The second thing is that for all women, in order to be a Michelle Obama, you have to stop tolerating a bunch of foolishness. In 2016, women have reduced themselves to a meal. Did you hear what I said? Women have reduced themselves. A man has to take you out in order for him to get somewhere. Forget what the substance of the conversation. He could be just talking about Ray Ray and all of them, but where's the substance at? We're settling for mediocrity and just minimizing ourselves to TGI Fridays. Did you hear me? You have to listen. In order to become a Michelle Obama, you have to listen to the conversation that you're having. Because listen to something. If you hook up with the wrong guy, he could damage everything that you got going for you. You don't believe me? If you hook up with the wrong joker, he'll damage everything that you got. He'll steal from you. He'll cheat on you, bring some disease, some STD. He'll be bad for your kids. Why? Because you settled going forward with him over a meal. You have to think better than that. You have to think wiser. In order to get a man and keep a man, you got to make sure that he is the man. Let me give it to you again. In order to get a man and keep a man, you got to make sure that he is the man. So for men, you have to look at life more. You have to look at women more than a sexual object. in order to get an Obama, a Michelle Obama. Don't be desperate. Because all women ain't gonna go for your bull crap. Michelle had Barack when he had little. But she was willing to stick in there. Why? Because she saw something tangible. She saw a tangible item. And you gotta stop looking and validating jokers who ain't got no validation. They ain't doing nothing to validate. They ain't even bringing them to the table. She had tangible, she could see it, she could feel it, and she saw that he was going somewhere. And you sitting around letting jokers in your life, yes, letting jokers in your life just come around and he ain't showing you no goods. The only goods that he's showing you is between is when he zipper down his zipper. Stop that. Gotta stop that, babe. It has